clock hits 3 and the room is freezing. I'm looking for a reason to keep on breathing. The glow of the LED is the only fire left in a room that's been robbed by a digital theft. I'm staring at the scene at the bottom of the page, like a prisoner looking through a glowing cage. My eyes are heavy, but I can't turn away from the cold neon ghost of our yesterday. On tap of the thumb and the story is done. I'm the only one left who hasn't begun to write. It's a blue like goodbye, a cold-hearted end to a love that I thought was my only friend. No one's scared to touch, just a tempered glass, watching the best of our memories pass. The screen is a mirror of the frost in my chest. I'm putting the ice and the weight to rest, and the flicker of the screen under a heavy sky. This is my blue light goodbye. I'm deleting the photos, one frame at a time, like cleaning the evidence of a beautiful crime. The brightness is high, but it's never been darker. I'm marking the spot with a permanent marker, where you stopped replying and I started to break in the artificial glow of a massive mistake. Switch it off, let it fade, let the darkness drown out the mess we made. No more charging the hole, no more battery life, just the edge of the silence like a digital knife. It's a blue like goodbye, a cold-hearted end to a love that I thought was my only friend. No one's gonna touch, just a tempered glass, watching the best of our memories pass. The screen is a mirror of the frost in my chest. I'm putting the ice and the weight to rest, in the flicker of the screen under a heavy sky. This is my blue light goodbye. I'm closing the tab, I'm clearing the cache, turning the brightness down to nothing. Sound of a phone like in a sharp click. The steam is rising off the ceramic rim, but the kitchen's quiet and the light is dim. I'm staring at the chair we used to sit tracing shadows where the candles lit. I pour 2 cups like I always do. Before I remember, there isn't a you. And now the clock is ticking like a heavy heart, and the silence is the loudest part. I used to love the way the morning felt, before the sugar and the promises melt. No, I'm just waiting for the sun to rise, through the salt that's stinging in my eyes. And I'm stuck in these cold coffee nights, watching the ghosts of our old neon lights. The brew turned bitter and the fire went gray, just like the words that you couldn't say. Oh, I'm sipping on the memories one by one, wishing I could undo what we've done. As the long dark road till the morning light, and the melodies, cold coffee nights. The radio's humming a song we knew, but it sounds different without the view. A few dancing barefoot on the hardwood floor. Now I'm just staring at the deadbolt door. I try to drink it down to feel a spark, but it's just liquid ice in the lonely dark. Funny how a flavor can make you bleed, when you're tasting everything you didn't need. If I let it go, does it mean you're gone? If I wash the cup, do I move on? But I leave it there on the coast of stone, a little proof I'm not entirely me. And these cold coffee nights, lighting the ghosts of our own neon lights. The brew turned bitter and the fire went gray, just like the words that you couldn't say. I'm sipping on the memories one by one, wishing I could undo what we've done. It's a long dark road till the morning light, in the melodies, cold coffee nights. Yeah, it's cold now, just like the space beside me in bed. Another cup, another night in my head. Cold coffee, cold coffee. Would you like me to suggest a chord progression or a specific folk with melody style to match these lyrics?
conversation ended with a double gray check. Now I'm standing in the ruins of a digital wreck. The tapping bubbles floated, then they sank like a stone, leaving me to face the 2 a.m. silence alone. I'm checking your location, but the map's gone cold. Just a story left hanging, half bought and half sold. I'm refreshing the feed just to feel a pulse, but your profile's a desert and nothing else. The active now turned to days ago, and I'm the only one who didn't get the show. Now I'm ghosted after midnight, haunted by the screen, searching for the meaning in the spaces in between. You vanish like a vapor, you slip through the net, leaving me with questions how to finish up. No goodbye letter, no, it's not you. Just a hollow frequency. I'm screaming through the air is dead and the walls are tight. Since I got ghosted after midnight. A girl that's casting shadows on my empty bed. Well, I reread the threads and the things that you said. You were all at 10, but by 12 you were gone, leaving me to wait for a heartless dawn. I'm blocked out of the future we were starting to trace. I'm just a thumbprint you chose to erase. Did I say too much or not enough? Is this how you handle the heavy stuff? You didn't even flicker, you just went black, and there's no road left to lead me back. Now I'm ghosted after midnight, haunted by the screen, searching for the meaning in the spaces in between. You vanish like a vapor, you slip through the net, leaving me with questions unfinished. But let it matter, no, it's not you. Just a hollow frequency. I'm screaming through the air is thin, the walls are tight. Since I got ghosted after midnight. Are you there? Are you there? I'm talking too close. I'm loving a ghost. The connection's timed out. Midnight. Shadow. Silence. The sound of a single unanswered outgoing call tone. The sun is dipping behind the pines, bleeding gold across the power lines. It's that honey thick, heavy kind of glow that makes me wish I didn't let you go. I'm standing right where we used to stand, with a ghost of a touch on my empty hand. Everything looks perfect in this life, except for the way I didn't fight. It's the most beautiful time of the day to realize how I threw it all away, and the warmth of my face is a bitter lie, 'cause the cold is starting to stretching across the grass, like the years I thought would never pass, the long dark fingers of the coming night are swallowing up the last of the light. I remember the way the gold hit your hair, and how I acted like I didn't care. No, the silence is a heavy gilded weight, and I'm just a second or a lifetime late. If I could freeze the frame, if I could stop the clock, if I could pick the rust off the heavy arc, I'd tell you everything before the gray takes the rest of the gold away. The gold is turning to a bruised up blue, and I'm still standing here, missing you, just a silhouette in the golden regret. I'm sinking into the familiar hollow of a fabric sky that's hard to swallow. The TV's flickering in static gray, a ghost of the shows we used to play. I reach for a hand in the middle of the night, and I'm only grabbing the flickering light. The cushions are holding the shape of you in a way that I'm still trying not to do. To throw blankets, heavy polyester weight but the sun hits the window and the color bleeds, leaving me hungry for the love no one feeds. The springs are groaning under the regret of the conversation we haven't had yet. If I stay in the blur, can I keep the ghost? Is the version of you that I miss the most just a trick of the light and a tired mind, a way to ignore what I've left behind in these lonely couch screams? I'm almost there, running my fingers through the bed. I can hear your laugh in the hallway where we went before. I wake up to the dust and the sounds of a house that's too big for a heart this small, tracing the cracks on the living room wall. I'm living a life that's bursting at the seams, and the middle of these lonely couch dreams, staring at the door, but I'm stuck in the fabric of before. Just a nap that lasted a year or more. Lonely dreams on a lonely couch. The sound of a muffled sigh, followed by the soft hum of a refrigerator. The dashboard glow is a neon blue, reflecting a ghost that looks like you. I'm hitting the gas on the interstate, trying to outrun the weight of fate. The white lines flicker like a movie reel off every touch I no longer feel. I'm driving to nowhere just to move, to find a rhythm, to find a groove. The city is a blur in the rearview mirror, but the memory of us is getting clearer, and the wind through the crack in the window pane is calling out your name again. In these night drive echoes, I'm losing track of the road ahead and the way back. Every song on the radio sounds like goodbye under the weight of a starless sky.
began to show. Now I'm just a shadow with nowhere to go. The empty seat is a heavy space. I keep turning my head to see your face, but it's just the glare of a passing truck and the feeling of being forever stuck. 100 miles and I'm still right here, wrapped in the silence and the sudden fear that I could drive until the ocean turns to sand and never escape the touch of your hand. In these night drive echoes, I'm losing track of the road ahead and the way, way back. Every song on the radio sounds like goodbye under the weight of a starless sky. It's the home of the tires on the cold asphalt. Everything broken is my own fault. I'm chasing the tail of the sun to the dawn, looking for a reason, looking for a spark in these night drive echoes. Just the engine hum and the ghosts in the light, driving through the memory, driving through the pain that goes night drive echoes. Sound of the car door closing and the distant chime of a seatbelt warning. I'm staring at the router, the little blinking red, like the warning light of everything we said. The Wi-Fi's down, but the distance is more than the space between the hallway and the door. I check my status, it says disconnected, just like the love that I once protected. No cloud to save us, no backup file. I'm losing your voice and I'm losing your smile. The servers are quiet, the cables are cold, and the story is over before it's been told. We're just two offline hearts tonight, fading out of view, drifting out of sight. No data to send, no signal to find, just the heavy static we left behind. I am logging off from the ghost of you. There's nothing left that a refresh can do. Yeah, the screen is dark and the world is quiet with our offline hearts tonight. With our offline hearts tonight. The room is a vacuum, a hollowed out space. I'm looking for warmth, but I find no choice. I used to feel, sing to your every beat. No, I'm just a profile that's incomplete. The last seen timer is a dagger in my side. Nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Maybe the bandwidth was never enough for a love that was built out of fragile stuff. We crashed the system, we blew the fuse. No, we're just the headlines and the breaking news. Oh, we're just two offline hearts tonight, fading out of view, drifting out of sight. No better said, no signal to find, just the heavy static we left behind. I'm logging off from the ghost of youth. There is nothing left that a refresh can do. Yeah, the screen is dark and the world is quiet with our offline hearts tonight. Offline, we're offline. No more pings and no more rings, just the silence and dark I'm staring at the portrait on the liquid crystal display, watching the vibrant colors start to wash away. One by one, the dots are beginning to blur, turning into a memory of who we were. It's a low-res nightmare in a high-def world, as the edges of our story get slowly uncurved. I try to zoom in, but the focus is gone, just a jagged outline of a love withdrawn. I'm reaching for the brightness, but I hit the floor. I can't see the person I was looking for, and now it's just pixel tears falling on the glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. Bit by bit, we're dissolving to gray, a million tiny pieces just drifting away. The resolution's dropping, the image is thin. I'm losing the battle from the outside in, crying 8-bit, drowning the blue with these pixel tears falling over you. The screen is getting streaky where the salt meets the light. I'm trying to render away through the night, but the file is corrupted, the data is torn, leaving me hollow and feeling outworn. I'm scrolling through the frames of a better time, before the grand design became a victimless crime. Don't let the image break. It's more than my heart can take. The sharp lines are softening, the contrast is low. I'm watching the last of the brilliance go. Now it's just pixel tears falling on the glass, watching the ghost of our chemistry pass. I can't even remember your name in the static pixel by pixel. Gone. I'm sitting on the edge of the unmade bed with 1,000 things I never said. The dust is dancing in a single beam off a life that feels like a broken dream. I used to hear keys in the lock. No, I'm just listening to the kitchen clock. It's a rhythmic pulse, a steady thug, like the heavy water in my blood. The walls are painted a neutral shade, but they're stained with the plans we made. And every corner is a trap for me, a hollow place where you used to be. In these quiet room memories, I'm losing my mind, searching for the pieces I left behind. The silence is screaming your name so loud, like a lightning bolt in a lonely cloud. It's the weight of the air, it's the lack of sound. It's the way my world is spinning around. I'm a prisoner of the things I see in these quiet room memories. There's a dent in the pillow where you laid your head. No, it's just a desert of white instead. I try to hum to fill the void, but the melody is something I've destroyed. I reach for the lamp, but I leave it dark, afraid to see the room without a spark. Because even the shadows have a story to tell of how we built a heaven and made it a hell. They say that time makes the echoes thin, but the silence is starting to settle in. It's folding over me like a heavy sheet, admitting that the quiet has won the defeat. In these quiet room memories, I'm losing my mind, searching for the pieces I left behind. The silence is screaming your name so loud, like a lightning bolt in a lonely cloud. It's the weight of the air, it's the lack of sound. It's the way my world is spinning around. I'm a prisoner of the things I see in these quiet room memories. So quiet now, I can hear my own heart break. Every breath is a chance to make a mistake. Just memories in a quiet room. Sound of a heavy door closing, followed by a long trailing reverb. Sound of a heavy door closing, followed by a long trailing reverb. Sound of a heavy door closing, followed by a long trailing reverb. Sound of a heavy door closing, followed by a long trailing reverb. Sound of I'm spinning the dial through the empty air, searching for a frequency that isn't there. Between the white noise and the weather report, our connection is cutting, the signal is short. I remember when we were a crystal clear song. No, I'm just drifting where I don't belong. It's a graveyard of pop hits and late night talk, while I'm pacing the perimeter of a memory block. The volume is up but the meaning is gone, just a ghost of a melody lingering on. And every high note is a jagged edge, pulling me closer to the speaker's ledge. In this radio love static, I'm losing the tune under the cold mechanical moon. It's the hiss of the distance, the crackle of dawn, the sound of a fire that's burning out. I'm reaching forward to react on beacons, but I'm caught in the friction of burning. It's a broken transmission, a heart that's erratic, caught in the middle of this radio love static. I thought I heard your voice in a 3-minute track, like phantom vibration trying to bring you back. But it's just a commercial for a life I can't buy, and the feedback is stinging like a grain in my eye. We used to be stereo only. Oh, I'm just mono trying to sleep to the rhythm of the interference and the buzz. Does the person I am and the person I was, the reception is failing, the tower is down. There's a heavy silence settling over this town. If I turn it to off, does the frequency break? Or is the quiet the loudest mistake I can make? In this radio love static, I'm losing the tune under the cold mechanical moon. It's the hiss of the distance, the crumble of dawn, the sound of a fire that's burning out. I'm reaching forward through the electronic case, and I'm caught in the friction of burning eyes. It's a broken transmission, a heart that's erratic, caught in the middle of it's a radio love static. Just white noise and the space between the beats, the sound of a heart that finally retreats. Static. Radio love. The sound of a radio dial being turned rapidly, ending in a sharp burst of white noise. I'm standing on the edge of the coverage zone, tracing the outlines of a love overgrown. Your words are breaking into jagged little bits, like a radio station that constantly quits. I'm holding the phone up to the cold night sky, begging for a reason or at least a goodbye. The bars are dropping, 1, 2, then none. I'm losing the race that we'd already won. I can hear your breath through the crackling pop, but the connection is leading toward a sudden stop. It's a signal fading fast, a dying spark, leaving me stranded in the digital dark. You're cutting out, you're slipping away into the static of the words we don't say. I'm losing the frequency, losing the line. The ghost of your heart isn't sinking with mine. Yeah, the silence is coming, the shadow is cast. It's a signal fading fast. Can you hear me? I'm shouting at the air, but the call failed screen is all that's there. I'm chasing the pings through the alleyways, trying to recover our golden days, but the bandwidth is narrow and the towers are down. I'm a king of a quiet and a disconnected town. Hello, are you there? The airwaves are empty, the wires are bare. I'm reaching for a hand that's made of cold. Well, I'm breaking down on a binary road. It's a signal fading fast, a dying spark, leaving me stranded in the digital dark. You're cutting out, you're slipping away into the static of the words we don't say. I'm losing the frequency, losing the line. The ghost of your heart isn't sinking with mine. Yeah, the silence is coming, the shadow is cast. A signal fading fast. The screen is blank, the line is dead. I'm finally alone with the things you said. Fading, fading, gone.
The long crack of your tongue that eventually cuts to total silence.
The overhead light was always too much. It showed every crack, every lack of your touch. So I clicked on the amber, the low and the dim, to hide the salt pooling over the rim. Shadows are stretching like long tired hands over the blueprints and the half-finished plans. It's a golden hued prison, a 40-watt haze, where I'm counting the minutes and losing the days. The bulb is humming a low, steady moan, a static reminder that I'm here alone. And the circle of light on the hardwood floor is a boundary line I can't cross anymore. And these soft lamb tears, the world is blurred with all the apologies you never heard. The glow is a lie, so one colored mask for a question I'm too broken watching the dust motes drift through the beam like tiny survivors of a shattered dream. I reach for the switch, but I can't let it go, 'cause the darkness is worse than the things that I know. The lamp on the bedside is a lighthouse for no one, a signal for a heart that's already a gone one. It's funny how light can feel heavy as stone when you're sitting in brilliance and feeling alone. If I turn it off, does the memory die? Or does it just hide from the naked eye? I'm staring at the filament, watching it burn, waiting for a lesson I'm never gonna learn. In these soft lamp tears, the world is blurred with all the apologies you never heard. The glow is a lie, it's a warm-colored mask for a question I'm too broken-hearted to ask. It's the edge of the night and the start of the ache, a fragile reflection that's ready to break. I'm drowning in gold while the shadow nears, in the middle of these soft lamp tears. Just a click, then the blackness rushes in. The coldest part is where the light has been. So